Hi, Chris from UCW here, and we're here with the Toasty Brothers.
How's it
Look at
going?
these guys.
Hi, yeah, we're the Toasty Bros. We make videos about computers and sometimes waste money on really ridiculous stuff.
They do these things. But yeah, I've come down to see them, check out their town, as well as have a little chit chat, see what's going on. So I had heard a while ago, you guys, this wasn't your first channel. Can you guys talk about what you guys were doing before that?
Yeah, so obviously we're not very old. We're only 24. So we probably started getting into YouTube around like 2010. So when we would have been 11, 12 years old. And we had a lot of gaming channels because back then, everybody wanted to do Let's Plays. So of course, Matt and I were playing Minecraft while it was in beta. We were playing other similar games to that, and we had gaming channels. We always had our names in them, like Matt and Jack and something like that, and it would just be him and I playing Let's Plays like that, doing split screen down the middle. We were kind of pioneering that, and the channels never did well. They would get banned for some reason. We would stop uploading them because you want views, right? Like when you're a kid, especially, you post a video, it gets 10 views, and you're like, oh man, this sucks. I'm never doing this again. But now that we're older, we realize it's just consistency. Keep uploading, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping this one gets at least 12 views.
We'll get you.
If it doesn't get 12, we might have to delete it.
Aim for 20. Aim for 20.
So
we'll share it.
when you guys were here, what made this one stick over the other topics and the other categories you covered?
So I think it was mainly when we first started the channel Toasty Bros. It's a question we get a lot. Is like, why did you come up with that name? Well, we wanted to make another variety channel. That's something that would actually stick. And we ended up doing variety content. And then a computer video actually took off. So we were like, okay, well, this is actually working. We found something that's actually working and something we were kind of passionate about already. So we continued with the computer content. It kept getting more and more views, and we just kept with it this time. It's honestly, it's kind of funny. We always talk about when we started this channel, we were like, this is probably our last time we're going to do this. Like, we're going to try this one more time, and if it does not work, it's just probably not meant to be. And it just happened to work out. And it was at a perfect time in our life where we were older as well. We were already in high school, sophomore year, and then it started growing as we were out of high school. So we were just older and mature. We were able to just really work at it and keep with it, be persistent, and it just worked out for us.
That's just awesome. So what some of the other folks don't know is you guys also have the shop, PC Bros.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So why did you go from just content to now you're doing hardware? So how did we get here?
So we had Toasty Bros. We started in 2014, September, so it's been like 8 years, and we've almost always done computers, right? When we're done with the computers, everybody used to always ask us, what do you guys do with your computers? Can you give it away? Can I have it? And so, back in the day, we might sell a computer here or there, or we'd reuse the parts. A lot of people don't know that, but we would just take a computer apart and do a whole other video with the same parts or similar. And so finally got to a point where we decided, you know what, this was about 2 years ago we started PC Bros now, almost 2 years. We decided that we should actually make a legit business out of it, you know what I mean? We're doing so many videos per week. There was a lot of other tech YouTubers out there, but because Matt and I had a team, where him and I, and also we had people working for us, we had a lot more production value where we could do 4 or 5 videos a week if we wanted to. That's a lot of computers a week, so we're like, okay, the IRS is gonna get very mad if we start selling these computers under the table, so we were like, let's just make a whole separate business, PC Bros. So PC Bros LLC buys the computer parts for Toasty Bros to then put together on the video, and then PC Bros LLC sells the computer. It's fully legit that way. And at first we actually didn't really tell people about it because we were nervous that if something went wrong with the PC selling business or vice versa, people would hate on both businesses. So for a while we were like, yeah, PC Bros is its own thing. We don't talk about it on Toasty Bros. And more recently we've actually started advertising it. So
No, that makes complete sense. When someone sees the face on cam and they're like, this guy sold me something and it was awful, or it was great, and they'll talk whatever, they'll speak volumes, but the one that goes wrong is always a tough one.
Yeah, it's the loudest one.
So, here's one for you. When a customer comes to you now and they want to, they want to build, they want a game, they want the gaming PC, and now there's a budget, and how do you get around budget versus performance expectations, that sort of thing? I know with our shop, we've had some people say, hey, I got to be here, but I'm expecting here. So, someone comes to you, I've got a $500 budget. You can game on $500.
But they want to play Warzone max settings and get 140.
That's
really,
the guy.
all
yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
But how do you manage expectations with the customer base?
It's a lot of like educational stuff because there's a lot of people who really just think any old computer, and we kind of set them up for failure sometimes because we do these really cheap computers on the channel and we're like, it's $100, $200, I can play these games or whatever, but they expect it to do way more than that. But what we've done recently is we have somebody who works at PC Bros that does a lot of benchmarks for the system. So get them built on the website. There are benchmarks for them, especially the ones that we ship readily, that are ready to ship systems. So it allows them to see in real time what the performance looks like, and they won't get any surprises when that computer shows up and they're like, oh, it doesn't play Warzone like I wanted to. And we're really open about setting that expectation. We don't want someone to buy a computer and just tell them, oh yeah, it'll run maybe if you like run at 360p at something really low res. Like theoretically, yeah, you can get anything to run at some point, but we're not going to push them in that direction because we know we don't want them to be disappointed. Like thinking of young us, like trying to get a computer, trying to run games. That was our whole thing, is trying to get our computers to run games. I'd be very upset if I bought a computer after saving up my money and it just did not do what I wanted to.
Yeah, it's definitely not a cheap hobby. Like
No,
you can spend as much as you want.
Yeah.
You guys ever like to mess with like low end spec for fun? Like if I find the old Sandy Bridge, see what you still got left. And just kind
That's one of our. I mean, that's like what the channel is kind of based around. Is its budget. Like some people call us the budget bros because during like COVID, we had to kind of scale up and do like really expensive stuff. But before that, our goal was to do like $100, $200, $300 like full setups, full gaming PCs. So yeah, that stuff fascinates me a lot more than expensive stuff because no duh, 3090 is going to run everything. Why do people need to see the performance of that? It's like, yeah, of course it's going to play
everything's
4K.
perfect.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
it's like you're asking, will a Ferrari go fast? But then I like taking the old computers that are for car people, like the Honda Civics, right? And like souping it up, seeing will it go fast, will it blow up, will it work, or is it a waste of money? And that's ultimately like what we like to do and what we formed the channel around, because back then we didn't have money. We were 16, 17-year-olds, like, working and in school at the same time, so we couldn't go out and spend a whole lot of money like some of the bigger YouTubers like Linus and Jay's 2 Cents and people like that could, because they were adults, we weren't. So
I'm still not.
I feel we're the same way now. Now we're 24 and I still feel like an adult.
All right, so games-wise, we see all the same benchmarks. We see Modern Warfare. Everyone likes to still run, what's it called, Red Dead 2. And all that.
Fortnite.
Yeah, Tomb Raider. What do you guys actually play?
None of those.
None of those.
None of those really. This is funny. Like the main game that I don't get super into gaming unless we do like our 12-hour stream. Like I'll play whatever we end up on the list, first-person shooter or whatever. But the only game that really gets me going is Pokemon games. Like that's what I'm really into, is Pokemon series. Like I just love playing Pokemon games. I run emulation on a bunch of them. That's a game that I'll just play for hours. Any other game, I lose my interest in 30 minutes to an hour or whatever. But I'll just go into that. I know he's really into first-person shooters.
I love competitive. So like anything with the rank system. I play a lot of Apex. I really do enjoy Halo too. It's one of my all-time favorite games. So Halo Infinite, I think they did a good job with. Mostly first-person shooters, but I do have some oddballs in there. Like I love like Age of Empires. I randomly get into that sometimes, and then I like some nostalgia games like Knights of the Old Republic, Morrowind and Oblivion, stuff like that. But like Matt was saying, it's funny because like we tell people like we're gamers and everything, but realistically, I might game a total of like 5 hours a week, if that. Like mainly I'll just play Apex with friends at night, and that's about it. Because I have a lot of other interests, like in hobbies, with cars and stuff like that. So, yeah.
All right, one last one. We're in Louisville.
Yeah.
That's where we are. It's a fun town. And I have a running kind of argument with a friend of mine about this town.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we'd love to answer it.
Oh, beautiful. So, this town, famously named after King Louis XIV. My friend is from Chicago.
He says Louisville or something.
No, he says Louisville because he was corrected once, but it's because of the accent here.
Yeah.
Is Louisville still acceptable if you're not from here?
So I think the actual saying is Louisville. I think that's how it's pronounced, because King Louis. Like his name's not King Louis, it's King Louis.
Yeah.
Louisville.
But a lot of people, like I grew up saying Louisville and Louisville and stuff like that. But more recently, I'm one of those people that, like, once I find a fact, I'm gonna stick to the fact, and I think that's the fact is that it's Louisville.
Thank you.
That's just me, but I know what do you say?
I say Louisville.
Louisville.
Yeah, Louisville.
And
which
that's
is
how
fine.
most of us say it.
But that would be the regional dialect.
That's the regional.
Yeah.
And that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I'm just making he this is a man with a Chicago accent
Yeah.
that drops his accent completely to say Louisville.
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 I think it's just the funniest thing in the world, and I will be
It's
showing him this.
really common, yeah.
To
So
just kind
don't
of-
feel bad, but you're wrong.
Well, cool. Thank you so much for letting me kind of invade your place again.
Yeah,
Of course.
It's been great. We're gonna have some fun later.
Yeah.
And then thank you guys again so much. Have a great one and be well.
Peace out, guys.